When you add value to others, it comes back to you tenfold. You should make it your purpose to always add value to others. There are corporate values and personal values. Corporate values kind of define the organization, it guides their behaviors, right? And allows the world to know who that corporation is. And then you have your personal values. Some of us don't know what we stand for. When you do know what you stand for, it's very easy to see, do my personal values align with the organization that I'm in? Values help to guide your decisions. If you're unclear as to what you're going to do, you can refer back to your values and say, is this in line? All right? Values also add clarity. If people aren't sure of you as a leader or of you as an organization, or why are we doing this? It gives the why. So it adds clarity. Values help the organization and help you connect. And guess what? If you can connect with people, you can influence people. And what is leadership? Influence. Leadership is influence. Typically in an organization, I speak to 10 values. In my organization, we have 10 values that we lead with. We don't have time for 10. I'm going to focus you on 3 of those values. The very first value we talk about is valuing people. We are people of value who value others. Now that's a loaded statement, because if you are a person of value, then that says you value yourself, meaning you take care of your mind, body, and spiritual well-being because you value yourself. So important. And when one of those areas is missing, you're not really valuing yourself. And can you then value others if you don't value yourself? It's very critical that you see yourself as a person of value. Second is live intentionally, because if we live intentionally, we can start to reprogram how our bodies and our minds behave and think, which is so important about creating the right environment for us to turn on or turn off certain genes. 85% of the time, we're actually living off of our programming. It's like a computer. We don't even think about what we're doing. You get in the car, you drive, you're not really consciously thinking. A lot of that's just programmed. You open the door, you're not thinking about opening that door. You know, how you react to people, to situations, all that is programs that you are obeying. So by the time we're adults, most of what we're doing is in that subconscious programming. You got to be very intentional in what you're doing. And last value is grow daily. Ever heard the rubber band principle? Rubber band is pretty much useless until what? It stretches. You got to get comfortable stretching yourself. Being in an uncomfortable position. Would it be uncomfortable if nobody was growing in your organization? Guess what happens to organizations whose leaders have a cap on their growth? They stop growing. You stop growing, what happens to you? You stagnate, you die. So we have to develop a growth capacity. How we think, how we approach problems. So critical. So those are 3 very key values that I have found very useful in any organization that I've been in. There's many more, but once you have developed those values, what's also very important is that you communicate them. Communicate them, encourage them. Create an environment in your team where you're allowing these values to grow. Don't get impatient. It takes time. Living and leading with values is always a good thing. People understand where you're coming from. It allows you to influence. It allows you to have greater productivity across your organization.